Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I actually want to break down the Rick and Michonne scene at the very end of the episode. I talked about the scene a little bit. I more just gave a reaction to it in my review because I have to focus on some other things. And so I really wanted to dedicate a video here breaking down some stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about regarding this. Like honestly, there's so much stuff with this scene here that has me really hyped for the Rick and Michonne television show. This show is going to be really good. So obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber. If you do want to get more Walking Dead content like this, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about for the next however long. Like honestly, there's so much to talk about with this. Like there is so much stuff to talk about because Rick and Michonne are going to be filming their new TV show in about a month and a half or something like that. There's going to be some first looks that we get with that. Yeah, quite a bit of stuff to talk about. We first see this scene and it begins with Rick and Michonne writing letters. Michonne's writing a letter to, I believe, Judith and RJ. I think we've actually heard some stuff with this letter before, or at least I feel like I have. I don't know where I heard that before, but yeah, anyways, Rick's writing a letter to, I guess really everyone, right? He just wants someone to find the letter to know that he's out there because I'm sure for him, he's like, yeah, you know what? Everyone really just thinks I'm dead. And I do want to say, after watching this scene with Rick, it's almost confirmed to me for sure that Rick definitely does not like Jadis. Like he is struggling here. He is trying to get back home. And I love the fact that we actually see him escape. He actually escaped the Civic Republic and was almost on his way home, I believe. And I could be wrong about this, but he threw that stuff on the boat, which somehow that stuff on that boat ends up on a different place. It definitely is. I guess he isn't as close as I thought. I originally thought when he threw it on the boat that he was like somewhere really close, but it actually looks like in the scene, he is very close to the city still. So somehow that stuff ends up somewhere. But we do basically got the confirmation though that Rick was the one that drew that on the phone. Rick was the one, really reaching out to Michonne, to really anyone back home, right? Just to let them know I'm still alive. I need help. I'm trying to get back home. Rick actually, he wrote a whole letter or whatever, and then he put it in a bottle and threw it into the water. And, I do think one character is going to find it one day. I don't know who. I don't know if it'll be Maggie or Negan and their spinoff, if it's going to be Michonne, who finds it. But some character is going to find that definitely one day. Michonne, her return, honestly, was definitely very surprising. I was not expecting it because everyone just kept focusing on Rick so much. But to see her back here, honestly, it's like, it's perfect. It's like, yeah, you really can't end this show without Michonne. Like, you really can't. Having her here was so perfect. Her armor is super cool. And I believe that she probably got this new armor here with the new group that she's with, because obviously she ran into those two people there in her last episode, right? And now she's with these people still, it seems like anyways, because at the very end we see her traveling. I'm assuming that is a group of people there. There's no way that's a group of walkers. Like, why would she go and charge towards that, right? Like, it doesn't really make too much sense. So as of now, I believe that's a group of people that are there. And so she's going back to that group there. I do want to know how she got the armor and stuff like that. I have a lot of questions because she's been gone for quite a while in the show, right? In terms of the timeline, it's been a little bit, up to a year or so. But if you consider the show's timeline at the very end of this last episode, they jump forward a year, right? They do a year time jump. So at the very end there, it's been about 2 years at that point, right? Like it's been about 2 years, 2.5 years or something like that. So Michonne's been gone for quite a while. Rick's been gone for so much longer. He's been gone for almost that 10-year mark now, which is honestly pretty incredible. And that's the one thing I will say. We don't know what Rick really looks like now. I imagine he's probably going to most likely look the same there, right? And I really do like the fact that he had the long hair and in the scene here really looked like season 8 Rick. That is All Out War Rick. And it was just really cool. And honestly, to see him here, it really got me hyped for Gimple's comments about seeing Red Machete Rick. Because, oh yeah, definitely. You see Rick here. And it was just the little things as well. Like Rick, it was that scene where he smiles and he seems so stressed out about the situation he's in. And it just seems like he's about to snap. Like he kind of smiles and like Rick's done that a lot, right? Throughout the show where he just kind of smiles during like these like times where he really shouldn't. And so a scene like this, it's like, you got to wonder what's happening. And it's like, oh man, I'm really, honestly, for the Civic Republic, I'd be worried to be dealing with Rick Grimes. And so seeing that scene there, seeing him smile, I'm just hyped. But this version of Rick here was a version of Rick that was, escaped at some point within those 6 years. Because when Michonne left to go and find Rick because she found the boots and stuff like that, that was like 6 years later or whatever. Maybe a little bit more, 6.5 years later or something like that, because I know there were some time jumps, but honestly could have even been closer to 7 years. But basically though, like Rick was there probably, I'm assuming 2 or 3 years later. At this point, he's been missing for 2 or 3 years. And it's what's sad about it is it's been actually so much longer since then. Like it's been years and years you know, and it was just really nice to see Rick. Honestly, it was so cool to have Andrew Lincoln back as Rick. Rick actually, he's wearing a CRM jacket here. I got a lot of like World Beyond vibes from this. Like obviously, like it is the CRM, they're gonna have the same type of stuff here, but it really just reminded me of that. It was really cool. And again, he's wearing the CRM jacket, obviously just a jacket he probably is just wearing. He threw his boots and stuff on that boat, so obviously he wants Michonne and them to eventually find him, right? Find out that he's alive, which it technically did work. Like Rick doing that, it did technically work. Rick does actually say like, no, or whatever in that scene, which was kind of cool because the CRM caught him. And he seems really just like really upset about it because obviously I feel like he probably thought like he could get away. And it is really, honestly, it is incredible how they do just find you. You know, like there's actually some dialogue said here. Come on, Rick. It's like he told you there's no escape for the living. So that there was really crazy because, yeah, there's no escape for the living, but also whoever Rick's talking to there, that person knows Rick and they've talked before. And then also the line said, it's like he told you there's no escape for the living. So who's the one who said that? My guess is it's Major General Beale. And so that was kind of a cool reference to you know, like the CRM and whatnot. And the line said throughout a lot of this was, we are the ones who live, we are the ones who live, or we're the ones that live. It was something like that anyways, but really cool line. It was nice to see Rick, hear his voice, get a scene like that with him. It was really cool to see Michonne, and it's a current day Michonne as well, and just to see what's happening there, because that gives us more of a feel for what the show's going to be like, right? And if the show looks like this, I mean, I imagine the show is going to look like this. This is going to be a really incredible show. I can't wait to see how this is all going to build up. And I really liked how they did this here, because again, it's what I was telling a lot of people, you know, Rick's not going to reunite with everyone at the end. There's no way. We got Rick there, but again, it was more of a flashback of Rick, of something that has happened to him beforehand, right? And although I never saw the Michonne stuff happening, that definitely added a lot to it. I'm really happy that they did that. But with Rick, you know, there was that post-credit scene that really confirmed some stuff that happened to him. I figured we would get a scene where, you know, we see him arrive there. But obviously they could save that for the very, you know, the premiere of this show. So I do see a city background. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And also Rick smiles, right? Just a really weird scene. Again, I've talked about this before. Rick does just sort of smile during these like moments of like danger, it seems like, right? Where things seem to be super dangerous, something bad's about to happen. And he just kind of smiles, probably because he just feels that confidence. Like, I'm going to deal with this. Like, you think you're going to win, right? Like, I'm Rick Grimes. So I just really liked the scene. I thought it was really cool. And it just made me so hyped for the show. I honestly cannot wait. I'm so happy that we got this here. For so long, so many people said that we weren't going to be getting anything with that. And we did. Like, we actually did. I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very thankful that we actually finally got a Rick scene here. And I'm happy that Daryl's out there looking for Rick and Michonne. I think that is honestly the best premise for that show. For the Maggie and Negan show, I'm a little interested in why they went the direction that they went in with that. Though, you know, based off of the location that they're going in, there is some stuff that they could, you know, get into with that. But obviously, there's going to be a whole other thing that they sort of set up with a lot of that. And tonight on Talking Dead, they did release a lot of stuff. There's a lot of teasers, a lot of first looks at the Daryl spinoff, at Dead City and whatnot. And so I'll talk about a lot of that later, most likely tomorrow, obviously, because it's super late. But yeah, right now I just wanted to talk about this because obviously this is what everyone's talking about right now. And yeah, just really incredible stuff. But I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.